everyone, welcome back to Tin Maxx. I'm Max, and this guy over here, that's Tin. And today we're going to be talking about Persona 4 Remake?
Rewind, rerun, we did it again.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. That's what they should go with if they do it,
Yeah.
for sure.
They have to pay me though if they do. Welcome to the video.
Mhm.
Like Max said, this is about the Persona 4 potential rumored remake that is happening. And to catch you guys out there up, and Max, who doesn't know any of this and barely a Persona fan, if we're being honest.
Know nothing, honestly, just about life in general, but Atlas is included in that.
Yeah. Atlas recently, they trademarked a website address in the exact same manner that they did for Persona 3 Reload a couple months before its reveal at an Xbox showcase. So obviously the rumors are circulating. To take it a step further, the rumor also stipulates that it's going to be revealed during a June 8th Xbox showcase, which does line up with the fact that Xbox has seemed to have had the rights to reveal Atlas main games for the past couple years now, including Reload when that first happened. Yeah.
I think the one of the main questions, though, if we're doing a Persona 4 Remake, is what version of Persona 4 do you foresee it being and why?
I'm hoping, optimistically, and I feel like most likely it'll be Golden. Specifically, it'll include all the Golden content. With Reload and Persona 3, there was kind of it was kind of in a weird nebulous state where it didn't have a definitive version in the same way that Persona 5 and 4 had.
Mm-hmm.
And because Persona 3 didn't have that definitive version when it was first announced, they're like, it is a remake of base Persona 3. And that's it. They did eventually release content from FES, which was the second, I think, version of Persona 3, which included a new epilogue. That was added later as DLC. With 4, it's not that complicated. Instead of like 3 different versions with different content to pick from, it's 2. It's Persona 4 and then Golden. And Golden, in the same way as Persona 5 Royal, the new content is more, it's not a separate story than the main game. It's stuff kind of intertwined. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Between the existing stuff. Less so than Royal, but still, I don't think they would cut it off and then sell it back to us later as DLC. I think it'll be a remake of Persona 4 Golden. Also, who knows?
Sure.
Because like I said, they could do base Persona. They could say the same thing. Hey, we're doing a remake of base Persona 4, even though we're going to include stuff that Golden fixed, just like we did with 3, and then give us a Golden version later, either as one of their classic re-releases or paid DLC.
Sure.
Which would suck. Don't do that, Atlas. Terrible move, but not unlikely or impossible.
Question.
Yeah.
So let me ask, why Persona 4 versus doing like Persona 1 or 2? Because I mean, Persona 1 and 2, we actually talked about at one point of maybe possibly doing a remake for that. Why going to 3 and then now 4 and just skipping over Persona 1 and 2?
So Atlas kind of ignores that Persona 1 and 2 exist for the most part. The characters will pop up in like the 20th anniversary artwork and whatever. Persona 3, 4, and 5 are markedly different than the original 2 because of the social link system and kind of the life sim elements, which those first 2 games don't have. They're more straightforward dungeon crawlers, which is with high schoolers. For now, I don't think a remake of those 2 games is impossible. It's probably inevitable if they continue to sell well. But I think with the target demographic being fans that were introduced with Persona 5, like you and I, that is the audience they are trying to bring in and cater to. And I think that's what 4 would be the next step with that, logically speaking, than 1 or 2, which would require either like complete reworks, or if they do just remake the games as they were, they're not gonna scratch the same itch that modern Persona fans have for those games.
Do you think, like Persona 3 Reload, they're going to bring a lot of the fighting mechanics into Persona 4 Remix or whatever they call this new remake? Do you think it's going to be kind of like Persona 3 Reload in that it might actually change a little bit of the fighting dynamics?
Yes.
Very clear.
Yeah, no, I definitely think, because I think, again, because Persona 5 is like the big one, the one that brought in so many people, I think there's elements of it you can't, that are kind of just like ingrained in what the series is at this point, like Baton Pass or Shift, as it was called in Reload, the thing where if you hit an enemy's weakness, you can shift your turn to teammate and keep going. Really good mechanic. Really enjoyed it the first time I played Persona 5. It's one of the things that stuck out to me the most about the gameplay. And that was first introduced in Persona 5. I don't think they'd get rid of that with the, again, like I said, the Persona 5 fans being the ones that they're trying to get in, the more mainstream audience. I don't think they'd get rid of that because then like those people would be like, oh, that something's missing. It'd be like, it'd kind of be like taking a step back gameplay wise.
Do you think that they're going to keep some of the same original voice acting that they had in Persona 4, or do you think they're actually going to change it up quite a bit?
Well, as people out there might know, and you probably know or don't know, with Reload, they completely recast nearly all of the characters except for like one, which was a little controversial, but I think ultimately worked out for the best. I like the new cast more. Sue me, I don't care. With 4, I don't think they could get away with it.
Sure.
4 has a very like dedicated fan base. It's a lot of people's favorite Persona game. It is, and a big part of that is the characters, which I really like the characters of the game. Story's fine. It's pretty whatever. It's good, but like it's not my favorite in the series. What helps it stand apart is how good the main cast is and their camaraderie and their friendship. The voices for those characters have been more or less the same since the original Persona 4 with some recasts, and they've appeared, like those same voice actors have appeared in like the anime, in some of the spin-offs. I think more so than the Persona 3 cast, I think the voice actors are tied too closely to the characters for fans that I think if they tried to do that, it would be more of a problem than with Reload, much more of a problem.
I feel like do you feel like almost every single then character in Persona 4 is super iconic, and so it'd be just hard to change those voices because like
I mean, kind of like they have been changed. A couple of them have gone through a few different voice actors, and maybe like a couple characters will get new voice actors just because of whatever. But I think like the main ones you don't really want to mess. You don't want to do a complete rehaul like you did with Reload. Also, that might have had something to do with they didn't want to pay the original cast. It's not important. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
So I don't think they would. But like with a lot of this, it's not off the table.
Yeah, fair enough. Which, to that point, I feel like on the table for sure is going to be a really expensive version of the game, right? Where you get so many amazing things.
DLC personas and costumes that change the music to other games.
Here's my question with that. Is it $100 again, or is it maybe even more with how the Switch 2 release talking about $90 games? Do we think that we're going to maybe even get more expensive than $100?
Maybe. I think I would be more surprised if there wasn't $100 edition.
Sure.
It's just what Atlas does. They did it with Reload. They did it with Metaphor. Maybe they didn't do it with Royal. I don't remember. That was too long ago.
Sure.
But they like to. Oh, Soul Hackers 2. They love doing that. They love $100 editions. I think SMT5 when it first released on the Switch had a $100 edition. It's gonna happen. That's gonna be the thing. Don't buy it if you don't want to. Who cares? I don't care that much. I still, and I say this all the time, but I really think, because one of the coolest DLCs for me is the inclusion of older personas, or in Reload's case, newer personas.
Sure.
In it, like how you can get like Santanale or however it's pronounced. I don't care. Don't at me. In Reload, like that's cool, and you can get like Ryuji's. You can get Captain Kid, more whose names I can't think of at the moment.
Sure. Yeah.
I think it would be more interesting if they weren't DLC, because they kind of break the game because they're free.
Yep.
And they, especially in Royal, they absolutely destroy progression. And I just think it would be more interesting if like you're just fusing and you stumble upon them.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, I'm gonna fuse this guy, and then bam, Captain Kid.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I'd be like, oh hell yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
But everything that used to be like unlockable is just DLC now, like new characters and costumes and whatever, which is whack. But
yeah. The investigation of finding new things is so fun, and that needs to be brought back in some of these games for sure. Cool. Now onto the story. Do you think that Persona 4 Remix is what I'm gonna start calling it is gonna have?
It's gonna be Rewind, because he hasn't played Persona 4 yet. You should. one of the biggest like motif around it is TVs. You go into a TV world, a lot of TV imagery. It's gonna be rewind or rerun, or it's gonna be that
rerun. I like that.
Because Persona 3, it was the C's have the guns, fake guns that help them summon their personas, hence reload. It's gonna be rewind.
Okay.
I'd be so surprised if it's something else.
Do you think the story's going to be any different?
No. Okay, here's the thing, right? Persona 3, the main story was essentially untouched. It was completely voice acted, including all of the social links, which was, yeah, that was, and I really liked it. Who knows if they do that again with this one. But the thing with Reload and original Persona 3 is that 4 and 5, all of your teammates are social links or confidants. And you could build your relationship with them, and it unlocks gameplay stuff.
Side missions.
Ryuji lets you just mow through everybody. It's great. Awesome. Persona 3 didn't have that. Specifically, the male teammates were not social links. So the biggest change to the story or addition to the story was in the form of these little side stories that were basically social links, but not. They kind of just let you get closer to the characters that didn't get that in the original series, the original game. 4 doesn't have that problem, so there's no need for the side stories. That doesn't mean there won't be any. I think there's a stronger possibility of Persona 4 Rewind really just being a one-to-one, maybe with some cultural some cultural things that are kind of updated and dialed back for the best. I think it'll mostly stay unchanged.
Yeah. And are you happy with that?
Yeah, I like the story. It's fine.
Okay, good.
So yeah, that's kind of it for right now. Some speculation, some fun discussion about what could or could not be with the Persona 4 remake. That is inevitable. Even if this rumor turns out to be completely false, I don't think it is. We'll find out June 8th. I think it's inevitable. Persona 3 Reload did so well that it'd be insane if they didn't do more. It'd be like if Capcom stopped making Resident Evil remakes after Resident Evil 2 being a massive hit. That just, it's inevitable. Yeah.
Which honestly is just growing the series even more and more till we do get to Persona 6. So
if we do, is it real?
I mean, I think it has to be at some point, but I guess
probably. Yeah.
Find out. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, because you know that when it gets announced, we'll probably make a reaction video.
Yes.
Just about that.
Excited.
And watch our video about Persona 6.
We did a wish list a couple years ago, so kind of talking about like what we want from it or what we think they'll do and stuff like that. Hey, it's a video to watch. Do it now.
You're bored. Thanks. We'll see you guys next time.
Just fucking roll with it, man. It's fine. We're not doing that again. That was good enough.
Yeah, just go ahead and watch it. Yeah, because you're bored.
What I love about that is it implies that they're bored watching this video, the one that we just finished doing. Because like that's what they're doing currently while they're bored is watching this video.
That's funny. That's good.
Oh, I'm putting all this in there.